Hello and welcome to my first art video where I'll be taking you through the entire process of me painting the New York skyline onto a box canvas. Here we go. So I'm watching this section at the same speed as you are. I'll try to explain what's going on while you're watching. So start off with, I'm painting onto a 100 by 50 centimeter canvas. It's a canvas bought from Hobbycraft in the UK. I'll link that in the description below. I'm using your bog standard acrylic paint set. I've got my pencil drawing already done off camera and I've masked off the edge of the canvas so I can create a nice neat border once the painting is done. With my pencil sketch I split the digital image up into 8 boxes with a grid to help me draw out the pencil sketch. So with the sky I started with blue wash, dark blue at the top, light blue at the bottom, and I faded it across. I quickly put in the clouds, didn't think too much about it, just making a start on it. With the buildings, as you can see I started in the centre, that centre tower, and they've took me a lot longer than I actually anticipated them to. I think that it's probably down to the fact that I'm trying to maintain my accuracy. I'm constantly looking back and forth at the painting and the image to try and make sure that everything's lining. And also I think that there's a lot of small mark making going on, a lot of different lines, a lot of small windows, and that just takes time to capture. Again as well, it's probably the actual just sheer scale of the canvas as well, being a 100 by 50 piece. The process started off with blocked watery colours, as you can see the building on the right now, that white building, and then slowly but surely layered the detail on top. And I think with the detail, for me, it's about hinting at it in some cases rather than actually having to include the whole thing, and that save time and it allows me to bring a bit of my own technique into what I'm doing. Put simply, with the colour, there's dark blue / greeny buildings in the background, and in the foreground you've got these sandy beigey coloured buildings where the sunlight is hitting the faces of them. I tried to stay true to the image with the colours, but I have gone a bit creative in places. For example, I've added like warmer oranges in sections of the buildings to just sort of add more interest and perhaps describe how the light is hitting the building. I think my favourite bit out of all the buildings is that pinky red and blue tower to the very left. And moving forward I'm going to just go back in, work back in sections where I've missed small details off. I think I'm going to refine things like these windows at the front here, because in places it's looking a bit messy. And the trees that I had to go bringing in, very loose, very quick, expressive, just bringing in the colours, trying to see what it's going to look like. I want there to be a notable difference in detail between the trees and the buildings, because the buildings need to feel like the focal point of the piece, with the sky needing to be reworked to just simplify it, because at the moment it's looking a bit scribbly, looking a bit messy. Just want to lighten it up, go back into the clouds, just reshape them, make them lighter. And as for the trees of Central Park, obviously I've only done half, so I will be doing the other half, and I think I'm just going to, again like with the sky, I'm going to just work back in just to bring more of a sense that there is actually trees there and not just this mixture of greens. I am adding some more window details in the front, adding in a few more small highlights. I could keep going, I could keep adding more and more, but I'm pleased with how it looks, so I'm going to stop there and start working into the trees of Central Park. I've now almost completed the left side of the trees, just applying the paint quickly, applying it thick, mixing lots of different colours, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, blue, red, green, brown, just to try and capture some different shades of green. At the moment now I'm thinking that it's too dark, and I am going to work back to get it lighter still, because I really don't want it to detract from the focal point of the buildings. So I'm adding these lighter patches, especially the yellow. I'm finding these really help lighten up the trees. I still need to find this lighter shade of green and add that in just to really lighten up the trees in general, and then it should be done. So I've just added in that lighter green, and I'm just going to go back in with just small bits of white just to finish it all off. With my small brush I'm just working back into places, adding specks of yellow, cadmium yellow, specks of white, and just bringing black back into places, just to sort of finalise the shaping of the trees into something that I'm happy with. I'm now at the last stage in my painting. I'm making the blue on the horizon generally lighter, and I'm going back into the clouds really going in heavily with the white paint to get them as bright as I possibly can. In certain areas of the clouds, I'm implying the lightest areas by applying the paint even thicker, just really slapping it on the canvas to give the piece texture and more interest.